Hi, and welcome to a new article series I'm going to be doing for puremtgo.com. We're going to be looking at constructed events now as well. I want to do something a little bit more multifaceted, where I do have the article series for my limited events, and I'm going to have an article series where we take a look at different formats and different constructed decks and events as well. I do like constructed portion as much as I like the limited, so that way we keep things a little bit more separate. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a RTR constructed block deck. I think it's a really good deck that you used to see a lot of play. Doesn't have as much anymore. It hasn't received as many weapons as some of the other decks have, but I do really like this deck. It's the one I started playing when I started playing RTR block. So let's take a look at it. It's just the green white beats token deck. I think it's actually a really powerful deck. This is actually a list I found out of a daily. I made a few changes to it, minor stuff, because I did originally like the list. The only thing is I played 4 Trostanis. When I used to play Trostani, I wasn't highly impressed with them. I don't want to play 4. I'm fine with 3. I thought about adding a second Angel Serenity, but that's bringing up the card just a little bit too much. So let's just talk about some of the cards. I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think of them as well and how they fit. I'm going to try the deck as it is first, and then just kind of go from there, make some changes as needed. I do like the when we take a look at the lands setup. It's your usual 4 and 4. It does play Grove of the Guardian. Not so sure on the card. I'm not 100% sold of it, but at the same time, I can't say that I'm giving it that much of a try. So on that, I'm going to keep an open mind at the moment. 3 seems a little bit excessive. I think I would be okay with 2, but we'll see. At this point, then let's take a look at some of our creatures. We have Experiment 1. You know, your 1 for 1. That just can get ridiculous pretty quickly. There's the Gyre Sage, your second drop. This guy's gonna be able to make you jump from 5 to 6 very quickly and and be able to cast your bigger spells faster while still being able to provide you with a really good beater. So I really like this card in here. If we take out some of our other creatures, Centaur Healer, I mean, the guy's pretty good all by itself. There's really not much explanation to give there. 3/3 for 3, you gain 3 life. This guy's going to come in very handy, especially against the aggro decks. Also provides a block against some of the control decks if they can't provide, a guy to block him or some kind of way of deal with him quick enough. There's also Blockstone Smiter. The guy's really good. There's really not that many decks that'll make you discard, but if they do and you have this guy, he'll definitely be a happy camper there. Can't say the same for them. Trostani, 2/5 for 4. It's already good. Whenever a creature comes into play, you start getting life, so against the other creature decks, you're able to get ahead so much quicker. Then you're able to populate. So as you populate, you're gaining life. I mean, again, a lot of these creatures, there's not much explanation to give there. They're really good. They're self-explanatory in my opinion. Armada Worm, 10 power for 6, both trample. So I mean, it's really good. They deal with the worm, they still have to deal with the token. So it's a 5/5. I mean, pretty good. You'll be able to play this. They play their Alcidat. You're like, okay, I'll trade my token for that. I'm all in. 1 single Angel Serenity. I'm pretty sure it's to kind of combat their Angel Serenity as well. I toyed around with the idea of a second one because I do like the recycle process of it, but the card, again, it's really good, especially if your opponent taps out for a whole bunch of creatures and they're like, okay, we're going to have a little bit of standstill, come in, take out their 3 guys, swing in. Definitely break through. Now, some of the spells, Call the Conclave, 3/3 on turn 2, pretty good. Be able to make your other guys evolve, so that's definitely a plus. Celestia Charm, really good card. Be able to push through, make it 2/2 token, or be able to deal with opposing Ninja Serenities or Madawarms. Especially, it's extremely good against Ninja Serenity because it removes it from the game versus killing it, so you only have to deal with it once. Reborn Defense, be able to combat against the control decks. They go to Supreme Verdict. You're like, okay, cool story, bro. I get a guy. My guys survive. So that'll allow you to be able to just crack back on the next turn and just win. Against the creature decks, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're able to make some attacks in, or if they attack in, be able to make some profitable blocks and take some advantage out of that. Collective Blessing, I mean, I think the card is really, really good, especially against, well, pretty much against anything. Against control, you lay this down and they wipe out your guys. You just play insignificant 1/1 who's now a 4/4. That's a threat. 4/4 is a 7/7. That's a threat. I mean, you definitely, at that point, any other creature becomes a threat where you can easily take him out. So it makes it so much harder for them, especially when they go with Sphinx of Revelation for tons of life. Slap this thing down, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna negate all the life you gain. Now, let's take a look at the board. Pit Fight. I'm gonna take it against, the other creature decks. Definitely be able to provide. Some of you guys are bigger than theirs, so be able to provide a way to get rid of their guys while still being able to swing in. I really like the idea of Pit Fight and the board, especially with all the creature decks that are out there. You have the Jund deck, the Naya deck, the Rakdos deck, so there's definitely plenty of other decks you can fight. Arrow Predation, pretty sure it's to deal with other Angels of Serenity, as well as be able to deal with some of the other flyers that are out there. Those are few and far in between, but there's still a few out there. Another Centaur Healer definitely goes in against the creature decks. Frontline Medics, these are going to be good against the creature decks. They're also going to be great against the control decks. Definitely puts a damper into the whole perspective of Sphinx of Revelation. So that'll definitely give you something there to combat with. Burn Ranks, I take it's definitely against the control decks as well. You can just slap this guy, start making, just end a turn, Celestia Charm, upkeep, make another guy. So that's definitely going to go in long ways. Sundering Growth, I don't think many people are playing as many artifacts as they were before, but there's still a few enchantments here and there, especially with against control decks, Ancient Sphere. There's a few decks that do play Medcat skills. You'll be able to, the scab their guy, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go in. You're like, take out your Sundering Growth. I'll make another guy. I have better blocks at this point. So you're able to take away their ability to get around you or put even more pressure on you while still being able to make another guy to have a better block itself. The only card that I'm a little bit shaky about, and I'm going to say it's probably going to be against control decks as well as aggro decks, but see it more against control than anything else. Or maybe against aggro, I'm not quite sure. I'm still a little bit on the fence on this card. It's Eyes in the Skies. I mean, I see what it wants to do. Make a 1/1, populate. You have a 3/3. Give me another 3/3. Let's hook it up. 5/5 for a Madawarm token. Let's hook it up. Give me another one. But at the same time, I'm not quite 100% sold on this card. Has in the board. But like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not going to mess too much with this deck. I only made a few changes. I don't want to touch it any more than that. I'm going to go ahead and try it out as it was originally conceived. And it did do well in its daily. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, concerning the format itself, My goal is to play some dailies. Due to time constraints, I don't foresee myself playing in that many dailies. So in order to actually keep the essence of the approach, what I'm going to be doing is 1v1s, just recording all of them. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. Just like it would be on a daily. So that way, still the integrity of that idea is there, and it gets us the results that we're looking for. Now, the benefit to that is, as well, on days that I do have time, or you don't, or when the times are that you don't have to wait in between rounds, you can get more games in. So a lot of times, I may actually post of it an article that doesn't have 4 rounds. It may have 5, 6, 7 rounds. So it gives you a more in-depth look into it, and hopefully gives us a better pool what to play against. 1v1s, it's better in my opinion than going to the practice room, because you're not gonna find so many French decks. So that way you actually get a real look versus the decks to beat. So that's gonna be the approach there. I do hope you guys enjoy this whole project. I've gotten a lot of feedback from the limited articles so far. I'm hoping I get a lot of feedback from this and be able to provide a content that you guys do like. One of the feedbacks that I'm already taking into consideration and applying is the fact that I wasn't talking in my previous videos, so we're going to be doing a little bit more talking on here and providing what my train of thought is throughout the process. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. Any positive, negative feedback, as long as it's done in a constructive manner, is well received. So I do appreciate the support, and let's get to this.